Guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Today I'm super mega excited to be sharing this video with you guys because today we're gonna be talking about lesbian movies you can actually watch on Mubi. Yes, it's a very popular streaming platform and it actually been growing a lot in the recent years. I will definitely be doing a part 2 because I just found out that they actually have a lot of lesbian content on there. So if you guys know any other movie that's actually on Mubi to stream, you know, when it comes to lesbian content, please drop it down below in the comments. And thank you so much for all the love and all the support you guys been showing. And let's get right into this beautiful and amazing list. So first we're gonna start off with Girlfriend and Girlfriends. They are in their 30s but they live just as they did in their 20s. They are in love with love, but in their search they tear each other apart, wandering from ex-girlfriend to ex-girlfriend, from relationship to relationship. The movie was actually released in 2022. It's a comedy drama slash music and actually got a 5 out of a 10 rating, which is pretty average. You know, I haven't had the opportunity to actually watch it, but just to see that it's kind of a toxic type of loving situation that goes on, you know, it actually caught my attention. So I might just go see Girlfriends and Girlfriends. You never know, you know. And then we have to move on to Nina Wu. Yes, after 8 years working in a small roles, aspiring actress Nina Wu gets her big break playing the lead role in a thriller set in the 1960s. Her role is challenging, especially since it has a lot of spicy scenes and the directors, you know, hurt her so much. She's a lesbian and has a girlfriend back in her hometown. The movie was actually released in 2019 and got amazing reviews. This one actually very surprised me because I just found out about it while I was doing this list. I'm not 100% sure until what extent does Nina Wu and her girlfriend storyline actually goes, you know, or develops during the movie. But according to research, she is a lesbian and she has a girlfriend back in her hometown. And then we have to move on to Apocalypse After, an abandoned seaside resort. The shooting for a fantasy film about the end of an era wraps up. Two women, both members of the film crew, one an actress, the other one the director, Apocalypse and Joy, are on the verge of concluding a love affair. It was released in 2018 and it got a 7 out of a 10 rating. It's a short film and it's a comedy fantasy. So a 7 out of a 10 rating for a short film, if you ask me, that is super amazing. And yes, this one is one of the ones that I would definitely 100%, you know, recommend you guys to go watch, because Apocalypse After is very intense. Even though it's short, it's 100% trillion percent worth the watch. And then we have to move on to this classic one. I feel like this one doesn't need no introduction. It's called Blue is the Warmest Color. Our daily life is changed when she meets Emma, a young woman with blue hair who will allow her to discover desire and assert herself as a woman and as an adult in front of others. Adele grows, seeks herself, loses herself, and ultimately finds herself through love and loss. The movie was released in 2013 and it's also available to stream on other platforms. I feel like this information is already known, but just in case you have Mubi, you can also watch this movie on there. You know, it's a worldwide one of the best lesbian movies ever in history, you know, released. So if you guys haven't watched Blue is the Warmest Color, if you have Mubi, go check it out, because I promise you 100% you won't regret it. And then we have to move on to the next one, and this one is called The Watermelon Woman. Shelley is a young lesbian woman working in Philadelphia with her best friend Tamara, who is involved in a film project about her search of the Philadelphia actress who appeared in the 1930s movie. It's a 90-minute long and it's a romance slash drama. It got a 7 out of a 10 rating and definitely worth the watching. It was also released in 1996. So yes, this one is kind of a classic one, and me personally, I enjoy watching classic movies so much because it brings a lot of representation, and this is definitely one of those one. And a 7 out of a 10 rating, it's more than average. So hey, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. And then moving on, we have Shiva Baby. I feel like this one also doesn't need no introduction. It's a 2020 American comedy. It follows Danielle while at a Jewish funeral service with her parents. A college student has an awkward encounter with her sugar daddy and her ex-girlfriend Maya. things between the two get super complicated because of the history that they actually got together. They end up hooking up and finally having the conversation that they much needed to have because of everything that actually went out between them. I actually did enjoy watching this movie, you know. I don't know if I will ever go watch it again because I feel like it's very set in the same scene, but hey, it's still one of those, you know. And then we have to move on to The Booth. This one is actually a short drama, a LGBTQ movie, and was released in 2018. It follows a female frisking booth inside a crowded shopping mall, stands as a silent to be forbidden romance. It's an Indian movie, and despite being a short film, it actually got amazing feedback. Yes. And unfortunately, the film is only 15 minutes long. This was one of the things that I actually didn't enjoy about it because, you know, sometimes short films, I like it when it's like 25-30 minutes. But this one is only 15 minutes long. But I still feel like the connection that the two girls actually end up giving to us in this movie, in the short film, actually, it's nice, you know. It's a vibe. It's a true vibe. And then we have to move on to Love Spells and All That. After not having seen each other for 20 years, two women are united on the small Turkish island where as teenagers they first fell in love. What is the mystery force that bonds them together after all this time? This one was actually released in 2019 and got a 7 out of a 10 rating. And this movie is low-key actually really good and super recommended. I just like the connection that they both had because at this age, you know, the 20 years later, they are way more mature and way more aware of everything, you know. And then moving on, we have Portrait of the Woman on Fire. Mariani, a painter, is commissioned to do a wedding portrait for Eloise, a young woman who has just left the convent. Eloise is a reluctant bride-to-be, and Mariani must paint her without her knowing. She observes her day by day, to the point where they actually end up having a secret love affair. This one was released in 2019, and to be honest, the ending really hurt my whole heart and my whole soul. It's also available to watch on other platforms besides Mubi, but if you have Mubi and you haven't watched the Portrait of the Woman on Fire, I will 100 trillion% recommend you to go do so because it gives everything that it's supposed to give, you know, despite the ending. And then moving on, we had to the last one, we have Close Up the Daughters of Fire. It's an Argentinian production and exclusively streaming on Mubi. It's a queer movie and it's super spicy. It's about intimacy and was released in 2018. I haven't watched it yet. Any of you who have more details regarding it, please let me know down below in the comments. I saw a couple of information about it, and all I can say is that it's super spicy. It was actually only, you know, streaming currently, like I already said, on Mubi, and it started to stream on Mubi on March of 2023. So if you guys have more info on it, please let me know. I was trying to find more details regarding it. The script was a little bit confusing, but moral of the story is it's super spicy, you know. So yes guys, that's basically it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments regarding this list, regarding this content on Mubi. I've also activated the super stickers to the channel just in case any of you would like to make a small donation. It will also help us out a very lot, you know. And thank you so much for all the love and all the support. I hope you guys enjoyed this list. Until the next list, and goodbye.